top 5 questions you should be asking a home inspector you're thinking about hiring. When people call us up on the phone and they start asking questions, what's their first question that should actually probably be their last question?
How much do you charge?
Exactly. That is the least important part of the whole thing, people. Yeah. Okay?
You get what you pay for sometimes. Remember that.
Exactly. A good home inspector is worth their weight in gold, people. Okay? Because they're going to know what is going on at that house better than a less experienced home inspector that isn't going to do as good a job, even though that less experienced home inspector is charging less money for a reason. I mean, I heard a guy that does a good job charging $1,500 for home inspection. I would never charge $1,500 for home inspection. I think that's a little overkill. But if he's worth $1,500 and somebody's willing to pay him and they get that out of him, hey, then cool. So there is questions that you should be asking to find out if your home inspector is a quality home inspector, so that you get the best bang for your buck when it comes to getting a home inspection done. Okay, Mike, what you have for one of the questions that you should ask a home inspector when you call them up on the phone to talk to them about getting hired?
How long they've been inspecting and their experience, basically.
Yeah. Talking about how long they've been inspecting and understanding where their experience comes from, is important. If they've only been inspecting for a year, you can go up. You could even go online and look that up. If you know their name, you can go online and look it up and see how long they have been inspecting. That would be in Wisconsin. If they've been inspecting in other states and things like that, that would kind of not be the best way to get an answer, I guess, on that. But knowing how long they've been inspected and stuff is important. So find that, ask that question. I would always ask them, are you a full-time inspector? Are you a full-time inspector, or do you have 3 other jobs? And inspection is just something you do.
Yeah.
I work at Northwestern Mutual and I inspect houses on the weekends. So I sell stocks and bonds, but I inspect on the weekends. I don't know. I mean, you really want somebody that is a full-time home inspector, and that's their primary source of income. And if they can't make it as a full-time home inspector, then they may not be the best inspector for you. So ask them if they're a full-time home inspector. What do you got next, Mike?
I got what's covered in your inspection. What do you inspect and what don't you inspect?
Kind of a loaded question.
It is.
It's tough for a home inspector to answer that. Okay.
Well, what I'm actually getting to is, let's say you have a in-ground pool that you want inspected. Well, that's probably a good question to ask your home inspector. Do you do pool inspections? Because I want that inspected, right? Yeah. Some inspectors do, some inspectors don't. And if you want it inspected, you got to know whether or not the home inspector is going to do it, or if you got to hire somebody else to come out and inspect the thing.
True. True.
So.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people ask that question. Yeah, they do. And when they ask me that question, I'm like, oh, okay. So I inspect windows, faucets, flooring, furnaces,
roofs,
foundations, gutters, downspouts, grading, insulation, trusses, latches, locks, doors.
Yeah, you can go on and on.
I can go on and on. I mean, I can tell you 10,000 things that I inspect, but does that answer your question? Not really. I think one of the questions that I have might be a better way to ask that question is, what standards do you follow?
Oh, sure.
I mean, there's got to be a standards of practice, an SOP, right? So as far as the standards of practice here in the state of Wisconsin lays them out as per our license. We have to follow these standards, but that's a minimum. That's a bare minimum, okay? Here at HSH, we exceed those standards, okay, in most areas, all right? And so, like, the state of Wisconsin does not require us to test appliances. Does HSH test appliances? Yes, in most cases. Right. If the family has their laundry still sitting in the washing machine, I don't run their washing machine. Okay. But if the washing machine's empty, I'm going to run it. I'm going to operate it. Make sure that it's working properly, especially if it's included in the transaction, And when it comes to some things like, let's say the garbage disposal wiring underneath the sink is just wonky looking, I may not operate the garbage disposal. But in most cases, I test and operate the garbage disposal. I usually let the garbage disposal run for a full 3 minutes with water flowing down it to make sure that it's not going to leak or have problems or back up or have any type of issues. So, I mean, I think that's a good way to go. And the standards of practice in the state of Wisconsin may be different from the state of Minnesota, or maybe different from Texas, So every state has their own basic standards of practice that is associated with the license that they're providing that home inspector. Now, at HSH, we also belong to professional organizations that have their own standards of practice, which exceed, in most cases, the state of Wisconsin expectations, and they hold us to a higher standard. Okay, so here at HSH, we belong to WAHI, which is the Wisconsin Association of Home Inspectors. Great place to go. If you're looking to find out, go to Home Inspector, go to WAHI, check it out. Okay, but we also belong to ASHI, which is a national organization. Okay, and that is another good resource to go to as well when it comes to trying to find a good home inspector. Okay, you can learn a little bit about the home inspector there. Usually they have a bio page, but you can also see what standards of practice they're agreeing to follow by being a part of that professional organization. So that's a good way maybe to go about getting the answers that you're looking for as to what they inspect. The next one that I have is, can I attend the inspection? And I would encourage you highly to attend the inspection. It's a great thing. Is it a requirement? No. I had a client just the other day. They live in Florida. They've never been in the house physically. Yeah. Their realtor went through with an iPad or whatever, and they are buying this house because they're getting transferred back to Wisconsin because they're in the military, and they need a house. They need a place to live, So they had me come in and inspect the home, and then I called them that evening to go through the findings and stuff like that, and answer their questions and stuff. So it was just a different situation, but most cases you want to try to attend the inspection. With HSH, we give you an hour and a half of our full undivided attention. That's what we want you to attend the inspection for, but we want to have that first couple of hours to focus on the home. You're spending more than you probably ever spent on anything in your life, and you want our full attention on it undistracted. So that's why we do it the way that we do it. But we definitely want you to attend. When we take you through that house, you're going to get our full undivided attention. We're going to talk to you about the home, answer any questions you might have, give you more information about that place than you're probably ever going to want to know. And the nice thing is I'm not constantly jumping back and forth between inspection and talking to you. And
along the way, we're also educating them of, hey, this is your expected life or your life expectancies of your equipment. And he's like, where are your shutoff valves and how to change your filters and how often.
Yeah, this is what you got to do to maintain it and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of education as well as we're going through the home, so you know what you have and how to maintain it and stuff. So yeah. Do you have another one?
Well, the last one, I guess the final one would, I guess, be the cost. That would be like one of the last questions you ask them. Just so you know how much what you're expecting.
Yeah, I'd have the cost should be the absolute last question. You know, and you should expect to pay $350 to $800, depending on what you're getting. Okay,
size of the home,
and that kind of stuff all plays into it. Okay, but if you're getting radon testing and a sewer scope, those cost extra. Okay, but our average inspection cost is around $400 to $425 here at HSH. If you're getting somebody that's offering you an inspection at less than $300, I'd run the other way. Something's wrong there. Okay, they shouldn't. Nobody that is reputable and is going to do a good job in the state of Wisconsin, as far as a home inspector goes, should be working for less than $300 these days. It's just the cost of business and things like that. Quickly, some of the other questions you may want to ask is, how will you be inspecting the roof? How did you learn about construction? Do you have insurance like Arizona emissions insurance and general liability? And you want to make sure that they are professionals. So check out their website, check out who they are, check out a little bit about their history, do some work. Okay, do some work and find out about the person you're looking at hiring. But when it comes to the realtors, those people work with home inspectors day in and day out, and they want the best for you. They're somebody that you trusted to hire for your home search. Trust them in this and letting them help you with finding a home inspector. They'll know the bad ones and they'll know the good ones, and they'll give you some good suggestions. In most cases, I mean, 99% of them are going to give you good suggestions out there. Somebody's asking, can you ask to see one of their reports? Absolutely, yeah. Most reputable or good professional home inspectors are going to have a sample report on their website, and it's absolutely something that I would recommend asking to see. So
ours is on our website. It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Go to hshpropertyinspection.com.
Yeah, our report, average report, probably 40 to 80 pages, depending on all that kind of stuff. Majority of the reason why our reports are so long is because we put so many digital pictures in. Your average home inspector puts about 10 to 15 pictures maybe at the back of the report, or they put little tiny pictures in. I don't find that very helpful.
No.
Yeah, we put 150 to 200 digital pictures in every single report. They're big, huge pictures that you can zoom in on and read.
I mean, there's 3, maybe 4 on a page. That's all. how big the pictures are, so you can actually see what we're talking about.
Yeah, and some people say, oh, 70-page report. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the quality of the home. It has everything to do with the quality of your inspector and how many digital pictures we take. So I think that's a huge benefit to have those kinds of pictures right and right in the report. So when I say that you have a flashing problem at your roof, I'm going to have a picture of it up close. I'm going to have a picture of it from 10 feet away, and I'm going to explain what's going on here and what needs to happen. So
then there's also schematics in the reports too.
Yeah, lots of that stuff, yeah. Hey, thanks for tuning in today, you guys. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you want to know when we put out the next one, give me a bell notification. It's a little bell on the bottom right-hand side. And subscribe. You want to know when I'm coming out with new stuff or whatever. You want to be able to check us out and be alerted to new video content coming your way. Subscribe button's really the way to go. Thanks again for tuning in, you guys. Remember, the better you take care of your house, better it's going to take care of you. Have a good one.